Hello, good evening. Welcome to my channel once again. This evening we have some questions and I will be giving the best answers I have. My opinion, of course.
I have two young daughters in their teens. Do you think it's appropriate to recommend to them birth control or just tell them to try and abstain from sexual relationships? If you recommend birth control, what age is appropriate to start and how do you tell them?
Okay, well, you have two teenage daughters. You're asking if you should recommend birth control. Well, I would say if it's to the point that they need birth control, have a talk with them first, so it's not like they're pressured into doing something they don't want to do. And your kids are not going to tell you when they want to be with somebody. So, and after that, you've talked to them, explained to them why they should wait, and if it's what they want to do, you should try to help them get birth control because kids are kids and they're going to do what they want to do. You want to protect them, explain the pros and cons to them, and I would say as early as they want to talk about it. Always make your children feel free to talk to you because you're the one that's going to give them the best advice. You don't want them to get advice from other people. Make them feel free. I know as parents sometimes we don't want to talk about things that are difficult like that with our kids, but it's reality, and sometimes we parents are a little bit too strict because when we were young, our parents they want to talk about it with us, and I don't think it's the best way. I would say like 11, 12 because kids are really curious. Talk with them as early as they want to know about it.
Do you believe the man you marry has to be from the same religion as you? If they are, do you think it will create problems? What kind of problems do you think it could potentially create, and how do you think you can deal with those problems?
I think that is something you should talk about very, very early in your relationship, and I don't think you both necessarily have to be from the same religion, but it should be an understanding between the both couple, whoever you are with, and it's an understanding and respect for both religions because personally I'm a Christian, and if I was with somebody that wasn't a Christian, it would not be an issue because God says love everyone, and love is love. It doesn't matter. Respect their religion as long as they're not trying to convert you and you're not trying to convert them. When both, one is not trying to change the other, you can have both really. You can have different religions. Muslims can be married to Christians. Jewish people can be married to Christians. It's just mutual respect. If you respect one another, I think anything can work. You know, um, does it have to arise problems in the relationship? Necessarily, I don't think so. You know, it's their religion, their belief, and if you love somebody, you don't want to change the person. And don't think that after years, let me just be with this person for a little bit of time and after years I'm going to change the person. It doesn't work that way. I wouldn't want somebody to change me and I wouldn't be changing somebody else.
All right. Do you believe a husband who works full time should help with the daily chores when the wife is a stay at home mom?
Um, if the wife is a stay-at-home mom, depends. They may have kids, and having kids and being a stay-at-home mom, that's a job on its own. Should he do most of the work? No. If the woman has been home all day, she should do stuff. But if the man comes, he shouldn't just like come, take a shower, eat, and sit on the couch. That is not right because the woman is gonna feel somehow. But he should help at least a little. But he shouldn't come home after a long day of working to be cooking, cleaning up the house. But he should help, and nobody necessarily. I'm a workaholic, but nobody works 7 days a week, so he can help. And the woman, relationships I think should be understanding. You should help one another. That's what's going to help your relationship. That's what's going to help you guys grow. You know, you don't expect him to work all day and then come home and do everything. But he doesn't have to say, oh, because you've been home all day, and he's not going to help you with anything. That's not the way it goes. You have to help one another. That's how you can build a beautiful, strong relationship that you both appreciate and respect one another. It's the key.
Should a married couple where one makes substantially more money than the other pay 50-50 for the bills and expenses, or should the higher earner pay extra regardless of the gender?
Um, that I will tell you, it's gonna be a tough one. But at the same token, like I always tell you, or it's my opinion. If it's the man that makes more money and he ends, he makes more money, he shouldn't be splitting the bill 50-50 with a woman. That's not right because, you know, I'm very, very old fashioned. I believe a woman should work, but save the money so that for raining day you can help your man out. If he loses his job, he doesn't have to go outside to borrow. He doesn't have to run down the credit card bill because now he doesn't have a job. That's when you tap into your own resources. But the person that earns more, let me be realistic, the person that earns more should take, I would say, like 80%, 85% of the bill, and the lower end. And if you really make substantially more money, you can take care of all the bills because it's love. It's not about sharing. It's not about sharing the money. It's not like one is using the other. It's you love that person and you're helping that person out, you know, and you want to make that person happy. You want to help. It's your home. The bills are yours, So if you think of it as yours, you wouldn't be so much into we have to split it 50-50. It's your home. You want your home, you know, to be well kept, to be happy. There are times in my own home when I want to do some things and my husband keeps thinking, "Oh, we're not going to put this off for some time." I'll do it because I have the extra money. But my husband takes care of most things because he's a man. He's my king. And a man is a king and you are the queen. Let the king do the role of the king and you the queen. Just keep looking beautiful and doing the role of the queen. Thank you.
Should I, as a parent, have a favorite child, or is that a toxic environment for my family?
Ooh. We're human beings, and I know human beings will favor one over the other, but we should never show it. We should never show it because then one kid is gonna think that's a black sheep of the family, and it does affect the kids a long way. Even after we're gone, we can't do that. We should always try to be fair to our kids, all of them, treat them equally. I only have one child, but even when my child was growing up, when her friends came to my house, if I didn't have enough to give to all her friends and her, she knew she wasn't getting it. So when kids are concerned, you don't do that. You have to be fair to each and every one of them. Always make a time for each kid. If you have four kids, let today be A's turn, tomorrow be B's turn. Just take turns with them. Make them feel special. Make them feel loved. Make them feel they are your top. Each and every one. It really does go a long way, and it makes the kid. It brings out the best in the kid. It is the greatest gift you can give to your kids. It will help them be the best of themselves.
If my husband is cheap, how do I go about telling him without offending him?
Another tough question. If your husband is cheap, um, I would say suggest, little things. Don't overdo it because you have to accept people for who they are. Some people where is their upbringing, their situations that make them the way they are. And being cheap sometimes might be the way of grounding you that I like to spend. So you can suggest things, don't overdo it, and talk with him. Communication. Remember, communication is the key to any relationship. If there are things you like to do, you like to go out to eat, you don't have to do it every week. You can tell him, oh, darling, my sweetheart, I would like us to go out, once every 3 months and, plan it out and include into it. People like when they're included, and when you include them into your planning process, don't just create this thing and say, we're going to do this. No, nobody wants to be told what to do. But if you plan them into it and then you both plan the situations, the people are happy to be part of it. And you see a cheap man who starts spending, a cheap woman will start spending. And that's the way I see it. And well, thank you so much for tuning in to my channel. If you like today's discussion, please like and subscribe. And we will leave you the Gmail for you to ask questions like you did today. And if you have any questions, please feel free to send it to us, and we'll always answer them to the best of our ability. And today's verse is going to be from Psalm 23. Remember, he's your shepherd and he will always lead you. Uh, so, thank you so much again, and I'll see you next week. Goodbye now. Love you all.